want to talk about the importance of our vote. There is apathy. There is a lack of information that we want to speak to on tonight. We want to let you know that your vote does indeed matter. Your voice is needed, and there's so much on the ballot that we need you to pay attention to, and we need to do it collectively as a unit and as a team. And so I'm so grateful on tonight that my first guest is here with me, Ashley Session from the Committee of 70.
Thank you and good evening. I'm Ashley Session. I work at the Committee of 70 as the Senior Director of External Affairs and Strategic Partnerships. That just means that I talk to a lot of elected officials and encourage them to operate in good government across this great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. So thank you, Pastor Cook.
I'm so grateful, Ashley, for you joining us. Of course, we have a mutual friend that we are that she has a way of getting us both to do some things that we may not have been planning to do, but we're so grateful to God for one Selena King, and also grateful that we are here today. So, Ashley, this, like every election, we always hear that it's an important election, that we ought to be paying attention to this and to that. I want you just to give us an overview when you think about what are some issues we need to be paying attention to, what's on the ballot this year. Can you speak to that for those who may have some questions around it?
Yeah, so I'm gonna lead with the Committee of 70 as a nonpartisan organization, but understanding what is at stake across the Commonwealth here in this election has real implications. If we look back to what happened in previous presidential years around the election, the Supreme Court, which is on the ballot and at the top of the ticket, ultimately decided the outcome of that presidential election here in the state of Pennsylvania and ensured that voters' voices were heard and that their votes were counted. So it is in our best interest to elect those who have the integrity and the forethought to center election integrity, good government at the top of the ticket. So the Supreme Court is the race that's at the top of the ticket. And while we are always so focused on the presidential, the decision we make tomorrow will impact the future of elections here in the state of Pennsylvania. There are also a number of social issues that are on the ticket, top of the ticket. So a woman's right to choose, choice, and focusing on just the access to different government entities in a real way that constituents need like every single day and that folks need, and it affects their quality of life. We also have the Superior Court, which has 2 open seats. And I think sometimes people say, I'll never get in front of the Superior Court. It's more likely if you have something big that's happening that you'll get in front of the Superior Court and you'll say, how did I get here? And you also want people who are there in front of you who operate probably from your same moral compass to get you to a place where justice is served or you get the right answers that you need for your quality of life. So we have the Supreme Court and the Superior Court, and then we have the Commonwealth Court. So the top 3 courts are up for have seats up for retention or election here in the Commonwealth, and those are extremely important. Now, while you may not see these judges every single day, or you may not see the folks that work in their office, they work for you tirelessly, and they create laws and pass decisions that even affect the local courts, right? In a number of counties across the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the local judicial races are up also for election, and they will use some of the precedent that is set at the higher courts to dictate how they rule in other places.
Thank you so much for that. I think you really hit on some important points. Most of us don't think about a judge or think about the court until we got to stand in front of them. But you're really speaking to being proactive. And I really like what you said about having the ability to vote for someone that has your sense of values and moral compass. Can you just speak one more time about whenever we're voting for who is sitting on a bench, what are the types of things that is impacted by what they do? I know you mentioned some of them, but I just want to hammer that home a bit more so people understand how important this is.
Yeah, so the quality of life I will talk about labor relations, some of the criminal and civil suits that may come in front of some of these judges, some of abortion. We talked about abortion, and the woman's right to choose, or a person's right to choose for their quality of life. A person to love who they want to love, a person to exist how they want to exist across the Commonwealth. Those are some of the topics that we don't always think again will go in front of the judicial system, but because everybody does not have the same ideology, sometimes the courts have to make a decision for us and in our benefit, and we want to know that whether we're sitting in that courtroom or sitting at home, that the folks who are on the bench will make those decisions in our best interests.
Great, great. Thank you so much. I know I don't want to keep you long. I know we gave you a time frame, but just want to give you any sort of closing thoughts. Just maybe reiterate anything that you think
Yeah.
is important, anything that is coming up that we may need to pay attention to even beyond tomorrow.
Yeah, so all eyes are always on the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. And I will tell you from a national standpoint, um, folks are looking at how we perform across the state tomorrow to see what our actual political proudness is. We need to ensure that we elect folks who are committed to democracy, who are committed to ensuring that everybody across the Commonwealth, no matter their ideology, is fought for in a fair way. And that matters. And that is probably the supreme thing at the top of the ticket tomorrow. We'll get to the presidential, we'll get to the Senate race. But if you don't do what you have to do tomorrow, you will not be able to complain about what may happen in the future. So sitting out tomorrow and being apathetic is not something that you want to do. The Committee of 70 has an amazing tool called Ballot Ready. And I'll make sure I get that information over to you. You can build your own ballot. All you do is put your address in. It'll tell you who's on the ticket. So you can print that out. It'll have every judge's name based on where you live or whoever's on the ballot, and you can take that into the ballot box with you. So those judges who are at the top of the ticket will be listed there. It's nonpartisan, so it'll let you walk through all of the candidates, but you get to pick, and you'll really be able to see how they square up on the issues. I will say the candidates who are here tonight did fill out our survey, so their information is in there, which means they took the time to contribute to your thoughts at the Committee of 70. So we encourage you to use it. It's ballot.70.org just to build your ballot and take it there. It does not take a long time to vote tomorrow. And we hope that everyone turns out.